Hey, it's great to be here. With everyone being cooped up, it's a good time to self-reflect on you as a person and you as a coach. Um, I've been coaching offensive line for 37, 38 years, and what I have developed, well, not developed, but what I have done is what Rick was implying to is that I'm an off foot guy. So when you watch our films, you're going to see that we step with our off foot first. And the whole reason for that is I firmly believe that if you're a lead foot person, you create momentum and then force. Well, that's okay, but you're not creating athletic force, if you will. Where if I step with my off foot first, I'm creating athletic force, which allows me to go in any direction I want to, and then create momentum off of that. So that's one of the first things you're going to notice. The other thing is that the midline being attached to the stretch and the inside zone, it forces a defender to read that normally doesn't have to read. In this case, it's the nose guard or the one tech or the shade. And nobody works on that. I don't know of a defensive coach who works on that. So they get kind of stuck in a situation. In 2015, we implemented the midline with the stretch and the inside zone. And we can go into any game with those three plays: stretch, midline, inside zone. And obviously there's that communistic RPO off of it. But nonetheless, when we implemented it, between 2015 and this last season, we had a high rushing yardage per game of 260 and a low of 210 per game. Now you could say, well, that's not a lot of running, but we really were a 50-50 team pass run. But the more important number, I think that kind of brings light to the efficiency of what we did was the fact that the lowest number of yards per carry was 4. So we were, and the highest was 6. And we're talking over 300 times or whatever it was. But we were averaging 4 as a low and 6 to a high yards per carry. And the low was done when I had 4 freshmen and a senior up front. So it works really well. In order to understand the midline, I got to point out to you that we're going to start with stretch, then go to inside zone and midline. But we're going to go through stretch and inside zone relatively quickly, or I can slow it down depending on what Rick says. With our stretch, it's not a full zone stretch. We're a pin and pull team. And the reason for that is that full zone can be disrupted by gap shooters and stretching down to the sideline. And I don't want guys running sideline to sideline. With a pin and pull, we're able to set the edge where we want it and get downhill, get north and south as quick as possible. Now, I've had some coaches say that that's too many variables because we have so many calls. We probably have 5 or 6 different calls. But I've had coaches complain that there's too many variables. Well, my answer to you is this. Football is about variables. There's a reason that a defense will go from a shade to a 1 tech to a 2 tech, or from a 3 tech to a B gap. And in order to take care of those variables, you have to have calls. You just can't, there's not one vanilla blocking scheme that's going to take care of all. I mean, if that was the case, then there'd be a lot more offensive linemen, a lot more offensive line coaches, and we'd be successful all the time. But I firmly believe that in order to take care of the defenses that you're going to see, you have to be prepared, and that's going to take, you got to learn the variables. If the defenses just came out in vanilla, it'd be easy. We wouldn't have to worry about that stuff. But with the fact that they slant, they switch their shades, they play off the line, they play on the line, you have to account for those variables. It's called coaching. It's called teaching. So with that being said, that is how we attack our stretch. I will go to the cut-ups now. it's kind of, I'm kind of speeding through it. I don't mean to, but that's just kind of the way I talk fast. So I want to go through the stretch and give you an idea of what our pin and pull is. Okay, we can run stretch and stretch cue because teams started loading up away from the back to take away stretch. So we ended up running stretch cue where the back became the lead back and the quarterback kept it. As we watch, you'll notice that even with there's the variables we talk about. We empty the backfield and notice how everyone's just kind of there. We're trying to get two pullers going, but everyone's just, it's with more of a shuffle. You'll see that, and then the fact that we kind of reach with that with our center on that shade. There it's full zone. I can do we can do full zone. I've never said I don't like it, but that's just one of the calls we have. We can full zone it or we can pin and bounce it. But this is where we empty the backfield. We have no lead back. You can see people shuffle and the quarterback makes the wrong cut, but again, there's our pin and bounce where the tackle comes down. We try to get two pullers at a time on stretch wherever possible. Now, sometimes there's a couple teams because they played off the ball on us. We got three pullers going, but here we got one of our schemes against the 50 where it's kind of a seal with the tackle and tied in down inside, and we'll pull the backside guard and the front side guard, and we'll never double team a nose guard on the fast flow play. We'll just man him up with the center because if he backdoors us, we're going to be gone anyways. So it's a waste of time to try to double team that nose guard. But you'll see we have the kick out. There's our second guard through. Kind of misses, but you kind of get the idea. And like I said, we're going to have two pullers every play. Again, like I said before, we're an off-foot team, so we're going to. Here's one of the teams we faced that were playing guys off the ball on a flex kind of, if you will. You'll notice that they're off about 1.5 yards, 2 yards off the line of scrimmage. And basically what I told our center is I said, look, if they're going to do this and read us on the pull or try to mirror us on the pull, then I'll try to get as many guys possible as playing. We'll cut them off. And notice again that we'll shuffle out of there. Actually, you'll see that the tackle, play side guard, and center all pull. And if the wide receivers could block, we'd be. Again, if you'll watch the footwork, they're all shuffling with their off foot first. We got three pullers and a kick out. And kind of where I got this idea, just give you a little history on it, and it's going to show my age. I've always been a fan, back when John McKay was at SC, of the student body. And what even interested me more than that was if you go back to the NFL back in the days of Bud Grant and the Fearsome Foursome and all those guys, they were all basically pin and pull teams. So that's kind of where I got the idea to say, hey, we're going to pin and pull, because it takes care of a lot of problems that you may see. And so, it was, and that whole pin and pull idea has been around for a long time. And it's just one of those things that I thought was more efficient than full zone and everything. Here you can see, again, you get a little pin and pull. We got a front side guard, front side tackle, pull, and the backside guard, actually, because he's uncovered, because the tackle, you'll watch our right tackle is basically going to tell our right guard to get out of town. And you'll see how he goes to cut. So the key block is actually going to be after the kick out by the guard to seal by the tackle is the backside guard. I'll run that back again. It's kind of hard to answer, to know where everyone's standing, but hopefully you're getting a rough idea of that. You see our center, again, we're not going to double team a nose guard. Fast flow play, we're just going to get on them. If we go to cut, we go to cut. One of the things I'll point out to you is, again, watch the center's footwork. With a man on, mind you, with a man on, he's going to shuffle and he's going to cover that guy and get to his play side and cut him. Again, watch the center. Even with a shade, okay, even with the shade, we're not going to, he's going to reach on. The tackle and guard to the play side on the left, as we look at the screen, are going to be pullers on this. Again, because we're a pin and pull team, and where you're going to let us do it, and we're going to go. Guard does a good job of readjusting off the tackle, because the tackle really should have been the first man to kick out. But but that's one of the things we do in drills is, I purposely tell a tackle to go the wrong way or attack the wrong guy on his pull to make sure that the guard makes the tackle right, or the first puller or the second puller makes the first puller right. So in this instance, the tackle's real slow, and this kid was an All-American, is real slow on recognizing who he should get. He should be upfield already. He gets up there late. The guard was kind of confused, makes a great adjustment. Not a devastating block, but it's a kick out block nonetheless. We get our yardage. This is one that is interesting, because even when they walk everybody up, you'll see here that they've walked everybody up in the gaps. There's always going to be an edge to set. We can always set an edge. And we're going to set that edge regardless of whether you go everybody up in a gap, in which case we just make our calls. It may be on the backside, everyone's just an overblock gap over, but at the point of attack, we're always going to set an edge. And in this case, it's the tight end coming down, the tackle kicking out or hooking this guy. And let me go back to maybe there's a better shot of that. Yeah, this one will probably be better. But you're going to see they're all gapped up. Everyone's just going to reach over one. And we're going to set an edge at the point of attack. And what's great about this picture, you see guys just pointing people out. It doesn't matter. Regardless of whether people know you're coming or not, they still have to stop it. You'll see that we get all the reach blocks and the seal, the tight end blocks down, the tackle pulls out. That's one of our options. You'll see that the play side guard, watch him shuffle and he covers his man. And he actually shuffles with his off foot first. Boom, gets the hook. Center gets the hook, and all he's doing is really shuffling over, off foot first. Again, it's a force that you can move your body more athletically with to seal. We get a good block by the wide receiver. Could have been a holding the way that guy's going for his flag, but nonetheless, you get the idea of the point of attack.
Coaches, Rick Stewart with All Access Coaching, where we're all about coaches helping coaches. Thanks for watching the video. And I've got to ask, please hit the subscribe and like button below. The like button really helps us with valuable data as to what videos to make and upload in the future to help you out. And the subscribe button will notify you when we upload new content to the channel. This channel is not specific to an offense or a defense. It's not even specific to Rick Stewart. I fly over the country filming college coaches and state championship coaches about their offenses, about their drills, about practices, about defense, about program building, team building, fundraising, and weight training. It's all about coaches helping coaches. So thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe and like below. And as always, better today, but never as good as tomorrow.